Frozen. The coronation day, meant to herald a new age of warmth and transparency for the gates of Arendelle, ended instead in a shattering spectacle of ice. Queen Elsa, unable to suppress the powerful magic she had hidden for so long, had unleashed an eternal winter. Snow, thick and driving, swept over the fjords and frozen fountains, trapping the kingdom in a deep, sapphire stillness. A deep sense of responsibility warred with fear in the heart of Princess Anna. She watched as the citizens shivered and panicked, their boats trapped in the suddenly solid harbor. She knew what she had to do. This was her sister's pain made manifest, and only she could find her. She was a woman of impetuous action, ill-equipped for mountaineering but fueled by fierce, protective love. She entrusted the immediate safety of Arendelle to Prince Hans, the charming Southern Isles prince who had seemed so understanding and kind just hours before. "Keep things running smoothly," she instructed, fastening a thick but insufficient cape around her shoulders. "I'm going after my sister. I'll bring summer back." Anna set off, the snow already waist-high in places, the sun a pale, impotent disk in the distant sky. She quickly realized how ill-prepared she was. The cold bit through her satin gown, and the sheer scale of the frozen wilderness was daunting. She eventually stumbled upon a small, isolated cabin, wandering oaken's trading post and sauna. Inside, amidst the smell of pine and burning wood, she met a burly man arguing fiercely with the proprietor over the exorbitant price of carrots. This was Kristoff, an ice harvester whose livelihood had been abruptly cancelled by Elsa's sudden magic. Beside him was his constant companion, Sven, a reindeer of surprising intelligence and expressive eyebrows, whom Kristoff often conversed with as if he were a person. "North Mountain," Anna repeated, shivering. "I need to get to the North Mountain. My sister, Queen Elsa, is there. I need a guide." Kristoff, initially hostile to the idea of returning to the mountains in the middle of an enchanted blizzard, was eventually swayed, not by money, but by Anna's desperate sincerity and her purchase of his entire stock of supplies. He agreed to take her as far as the mountain's base, making it clear this was strictly a business transaction, not a friendship mission. "Fine," Kristoff grumbled, adjusting Sven's harness. "But you don't talk, you don't sing, and you only point when you need to." Anna, too focused on her destination to be annoyed, simply nodded. The trio, Princess, Iceman, and Reindeer, began their ascent into the blizzard, leaving the cozy warmth of the trading post behind. The journey was brutal. Kristoff was an expert, navigating treacherous crevasses and blinding snowdrifts with practiced ease. Anna, however, was hopelessly out of her element. They bonded initially through accidental peril, a sudden, heart-stopping attack by a pack of hungry wolves that required Kristoff's quick thinking and Sven's surprising agility to escape. It was shortly after that narrow escape that they encountered something far more extraordinary than wolves, a walking, talking snowman. This creature, impossibly joyful and wholly unaware of the cold, introduced himself with a broad, gap-toothed smile. "Hi, everyone. I'm Olaf," he chirped, his carrot nose slightly askew. "And who are you?" Anna recognized him instantly. He was the product of her and Elsa's childhood games, a little bit of shared happiness brought to vibrant life. Olaf's simple existence confirmed for Anna that a piece of her sister, the loving, playful Elsa, was still present beneath the fear and ice. Olaf explained his desire. "I love summer. Warm hugs. I want to stand in the sun." Kristoff, ever the pragmatic realist, muttered to Sven, "I'm gonna tell him." But Anna intervened, promising Olaf he could join them on their journey to restore summer. Olaf's innocent optimism provided a much-needed counterpoint to the relentless storm, keeping Anna's focus on the positive outcome. As they pressed higher, the storm faded, replaced by an eerie, transcendent calm. The air grew thinner, the snow deeper, and then, at the top of the North Mountain, the ice palace rose. It was a structure of impossible crystalline beauty, shimmering with rainbow light and carved with breathtaking precision. It was magnificent, but terrifying in its isolation. Anna ran ahead, leaving Kristoff and Olaf to wait outside. She had to do this alone. The palace interior was as beautiful as the exterior, a cathedral of ice where the temperature dropped the very breath from Anna's lungs. She found Elsa in the main hall, dressed in a dazzling, newly created gown of ice blue, radiating a fragile, dangerous power. Elsa was calm, but her eyes held the terror of a person who knew she could never be safe or loved again. The sisters' reunion was fraught with unspoken pain and deep misunderstanding. "Elsa, you have to come back," Anna pleaded, holding out a hand. "Arendelle is frozen. You have to undo the winter." "I can't," Elsa whispered, backing away, her voice tight with panic. "I don't know how. I only make it worse." Anna tried to reason, tried to explain, tried to appeal to the years of lost sisterhood, but Elsa was too deep in her own fear. Anna revealed that the guards were hunting her, and the kingdom was in peril, hoping that the urgency would snap Elsa out of her isolation. Instead, it sent her spiraling. "I only want to be alone," Elsa cried, her magic flaring outwards like a physical shockwave. A sharp shard of ice erupted from her hand, missing Anna's heart but striking her deep in the chest. The pain was sharp, but Anna barely registered it. She persisted, and in her fear, Elsa accidentally conjured a massive, monstrous snowman, Marshmallow, to drive them away. Anna, Kristoff, and Olaf were summarily chased down the North Mountain by the raging snow beast. The fall and subsequent chaotic descent only made Anna's pain worse. She felt a growing, profound cold spreading from the center of her chest. Olaf and Kristoff noticed the change first. Anna was pale, stumbling, and the tips of her hair were turning startlingly white. They took her to the small, hidden Valley of the Trolls, where Grand Pabby confirmed their worst fear. An icy shard struck her heart, the elder troll explained gravely. If not removed, it will freeze her solid, forever. Only an act of true love can thaw a frozen heart. Anna insisted that the solution was simple: Prince Hans. He loved her. He had proposed to her. A kiss from him would surely be the required act of true love. With no other option, Kristoff, utterly devastated by his inability to help, raced Anna and Sven back toward Arendelle. They arrived in Arendelle in the dead of night, the city silent and eerie under the blanket of snow. Kristoff delivered a weakening, near-frozen Anna directly to the palace gates, where Hans was waiting. He surrendered her to the prince's care, his heart heavy with a strange, unfamiliar ache. Kristoff didn't wait for thanks. He simply turned Sven and left, retreating to the solitude of the mountain, believing he had fulfilled his duty and the princess was saved. Hans carried Anna to the hearth, laid her gently on a chaise, and banked the fire. Anna, shivering uncontrollably, pleaded with him. "Hans, I'm freezing. I need you to kiss me. It's the only way." Hans looked down at her, not with love, but with a cold, calculating smile that erased the memory of his charm. He did not kiss her. Instead, he drew back and let the fire dwindle. "Oh, Anna," he said, his voice dropping all pretense of affection. "If only there was someone here who loved you. But there isn't. Not anymore." Hans revealed his true, cynical plan, to marry Anna, then orchestrate the removal of Elsa, claim the throne of Arendelle, and discard Anna. The icy shard in her chest was perfect for his scheme. He only needed her to die before Kristoff or anyone else could interfere. He locked the door and left her to freeze, going immediately to the Great Hall to announce that Anna had died from the cold, but not before they had exchanged vows. Now, as her grieving widower, he claimed temporary control and ordered the immediate execution of Queen Elsa, who was held captive in the dungeon. Back on the fjord, Kristoff couldn't shake the feeling of dread. He looked at Sven, who nudged him knowingly. Anna's pale face, her sheer determination, he knew he had made a terrible mistake. He loved her. It was a terrifying, undeniable truth, and he had abandoned her. Without a word, he turned Sven around and they galloped back toward the castle, battling the raging, despair-filled blizzard that now consumed the entire valley. In the castle, Olaf found a way to the frozen room. He helped Anna tend the dwindling fire and explained that Kristoff was rushing back. "He loves you, Anna," Olaf insisted, the simple snowman speaking a profound truth. True love is putting someone else's needs before your own. Anna, realizing that the act of true love wasn't a romantic gesture, but a selfless one, knew she had to find Kristoff. But a new sound reached them, the clash of steel and the sound of footsteps. Elsa, escaping her captors, was loose in the blizzard. Anna staggered out onto the ice-covered fjord just as Hans raised his sword over Elsa, prepared to strike. Kristoff, seeing the scene unfold, was only meters away, calling her name. Anna had only a moment to choose. Her true love, Kristoff's kiss, or her sister's life. She chose Elsa. With the last of her strength, she threw her freezing body between the queen and Hans's sword. The blow never landed. As the sword struck her frozen hand, Anna's entire body turned to solid, unmoving ice. Elsa screamed in horror, seeing the sacrifice of her sister. Her grief was absolute, shattering the cold isolation she had held so fiercely. She wrapped her arms around the statue of Anna, weeping. Then, slowly, miraculously, the icy crust that encased Anna began to crack. Her frozen heart, warmed by the selfless, protective love of her sister, the true act of love began to beat again. The change was immediate and total. The ice vanished from Anna's hair, and the air around them grew warm. Elsa finally understood. Love was the key to controlling her magic. With the fear gone, she could wield her power not as a weapon, but as an expression of her heart. The blizzard ceased, the ice in the harbor broke, and summer returned to Arendelle. Hans was quickly exposed and arrested. Kristoff, hesitant and shy, finally received his warm hug from Anna. And Olaf? Elsa gave him a small, permanent snow flurry to keep him cool, allowing him to finally enjoy the summer sun he had always dreamed of. Arendelle was safe, ruled not by fear, but by the powerful, boundless love of its two sisters. Subscribe the channel to get more stories, and like the video, thank you.